This video is sponsored by Phoenix, which is formerly known as Minimal Case. Now, this is the same company that's known for their thin, sleek phone cases. They're just rebranding over to the name Phoenix. And right now, if you go to their site and use the code Gamesky, you can save 25%. So let's just say recently you've maybe upgraded to one of the new Galaxy S21 phones, or maybe you've picked up a new OnePlus Pixel, or maybe the newest iPhone. You can go to their site and pick up the Phoenix Thin Case, which is going to protect your phone against scratches and light drops while still leaving your phone feeling like it doesn't even have a case on it at all. Now, I've actually had these cases on my last several phones, and I love the minimalistic design that they have. I just like the fact that it doesn't add any bulk to the phone that I'm using, and so I highly recommend these cases. And again, I'd like to thank Phoenix for sponsoring today's video. Alright guys, so today we're going to be checking out a brand new pair of earbuds from the company Edifier. Now, Edifier is one of those companies I would group in with SoundPeats and Earfun, where they're basically a company that tries to give you a lot for your money. It's just one of the better budget brands out there. And so the product that we're going to check out today, which is the Edifier TWS1 Pro, I was kind of curious, how much can Edifier actually try to give you on a $50 product that they're labeling as Pro? To start with, I do want to say that these are available in two different colors. They are available in a gray, but also in an ivory, which for some reason they decided to send me the ivory version. I would have preferred the gray one, but at least it's a different color to look at than the normal black or gray that we normally check out. Now, as far as some of the features, and one of the main selling points in this pair is not only is it using Bluetooth 5.2, but it also has aptX Adaptive. This is one of those Bluetooth codecs that's trying to give you like lossless audio. It's basically like high-res audio using Bluetooth, but it also cuts down a lot on latency. So if you are actually looking for a pair of earbuds for movies and videos and gaming and stuff like that, this is one of those pairs that's going to do a great job without having to have a gaming or a low latency mode, which those type of modes usually cut down on battery life. So with these already having aptX Adaptive just like right out of the box without having to switch over into any mode means you're going to get really good performance without having to sacrifice battery life. Now, as far as any other technology, it is also using Qualcomm's true wireless mirroring as far as the connection goes. And I can tell you right now, this earbud has a very solid, stable connection. So you really don't have to worry about having any kind of dropout or connection issues. You don't have to really worry about staying very close to your device. So that is definitely a huge plus, especially in a pair that's only $50. Now, as far as using these outdoors, they actually have an IP65 rating. So most companies don't try to get that dust certification, which is the first number. So the fact that this is protected against most dust and a lot of water as far as splashes and rain and sweat and things like that, that is definitely a nice touch as well. But this is still not a pair that you would want to submerge into water. Now, as far as what you're getting inside the box, you do get the usual small, medium, and large silicone ear tips. And as you can see here, the ear tips are ivory to match the actual earbuds themselves. And then as far as the charging cable, they've included a fairly long USB-C cable. And this is the only way to charge the case because the case is not a Qi wireless charging case. But speaking of the charging, battery life is also extremely impressive. Again, especially considering that it has that very low latency with different types of media. But on the earbuds themselves, you're going to get 12 hours of battery life. And on top of that, using the charging case, you're going to get 42 hours total. And then another huge plus is if they are completely dead and you do want to fully charge the earbuds, it only takes 40 minutes to fully charge the earbuds back up to 12 hours of battery life. And I can say right now, that's extremely impressive no matter what the price of the product is. But again, I keep going back to the fact that getting these type of features in a $50 earbud is one of those that just keeps adding value to this product. Now, moving over to looking at the case itself, again, this is ivory, so it's made to match the earbuds. You can see Edifier's name right here up top. Then on the back, you can see the USB-C input for charging. And then around on the front, it looks like it doesn't have any kind of indicator light at all, but it's actually hidden behind the plastic material of the case. So it just kind of glows behind the case, and you have that single indicator light to just kind of let you know how much battery life is left in the case. Now, when you open the lid, you can see that both earbuds are sitting in there. It's an ivory kind of trimmed in gold. Now, the earbuds themselves are fairly tiny, so if you do have a small ear canal, you shouldn't have any kind of issues with these fitting. I felt like this was an extremely comfortable pair. Now, it does stick out just a little bit, and I'm okay with that, especially considering the battery that they're cramming into here. But as far as the controls go, this pair uses touch controls, and I'm happy to say that it gives you control over everything. So especially when we looked at pairs like yesterday where it didn't even have controls at all, it's nice to see when a pair includes your play and pause and skipping your tracks forward and going backwards and your volume control all on the earbud itself. Now, as far as you guys that like to use your earbuds for phone calls, this is also using the CVC 8.0 technology, which basically means that it focuses in on your voice during phone calls and does what it can to block out your surroundings. And overall, I think they did a very nice job here, but you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. All right, guys, so here is a mic test using the TWS1 Pros. Again, I think overall it does a really good job of picking up my voice. I notice it comes through extremely clear. Maybe I would have liked to have seen it pick up a little bit deeper bass tones, but for phone calls, I don't think anybody's going to have any complaints. But this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here's the mic test with a crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound, because the sound, even though the features are very impressive, is still the most impressive feature on this earbud. The sound is absolutely incredible. They even used titanium coated diaphragms, which basically cuts down on any kind of vibration, so it means that you can listen to these loudly and not have to worry about distortion. It's a very clean sound. Even the bass has a lot of punch to it, but you can tell that they're controlling it in a way where it's not loose, it's not sloppy. This is one of those pairs that you definitely can go from listening to metal to then easy listening or R&B and hip hop, and then go over to country and just, kind of go through your whole catalog and not worry that the earbud is, good for some genres, but not really good for others. So I was very, very impressed with the audio quality overall. Again, like I said, the bass has a nice punch. The mids are very, very forward in this pair, so it really did just kind of feel like the singer was always up front and right there in front of you. And it didn't matter, again, if it was a genre where there's just so much going on, that vocalist never felt like they stepped back or just got lost in the mix altogether. And the treble on this pair is nice and clean. Now, it can get fairly bright, but it doesn't get to that point to where it sounds harsh or it causes ear fatigue. So it has a really nice balance to it. I would almost say that it is slightly warm, so it doesn't have that ear-piercing high sound. And again, it just makes it really enjoyable to listen to, and having that slightly warm sound kind of allowed me to listen to these a lot longer than I can other earbuds that do have a brighter sound. And then really, as far as the soundstage and the sound imaging, it definitely sounded fairly open. I would say it made me feel like I was in a large room. It's not the most open sounding pair of earbuds that I've heard, but having a pretty dynamic sound with punchy bass and a really nice treble and still allowing it to feel like it has some air in the sound is just really impressive overall. So my overall opinion of these, it's really kind of simple. I think this is going to be one of those that falls into one of the best budget pairs of earbuds that you can find. Being able to get all of those newer features and a really impressive sound for $50. Again, this just kind of groups this pair into those that makes it very hard to spend a lot of money on other pairs of earbuds. Now, the only cons that I really had, and I really felt like I had to kind of dig to find cons, is yes, it would still be nice to have these have Qi wireless charging. That is kind of a lot to ask considering the price tag. The only other thing I can think of is maybe the sound signature might not be for everybody. If you do like that subwoofer type feel where you like the bass to just be a little more loose and just kind of resonate a little more, this isn't one of those pairs. And it's also not one of those pairs that's going to give you that flat sound signature. It's elevated in the lows and the highs. The mids are definitely pushed forward, and it's just an exciting earbud to listen to. But again, for $50, Edifier, and like I said, Soundpeats and Earphones, they just keep finding ways to add value when it comes to the true wireless earbud market. So I was impressed with what they were able to do with these. But guys, that's my video on the Edifier TWS1 Pro. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.